Welcome, confidential listeners, to another entry from our private archives. This is a space for the unspoken, to a city where the past is carved in marble, but the future is as fragile as a breath on a cold window. Tonight, we walk the narrow, sun-bleached rules of Florence, a place where every bridge has seen 1,000 lovers and every shadow hides a heart that was once full of hope. This is the story of Gabriel, a man who spent 25 years building a cathedral of love for one woman, only to watch it crumble into dust when the world stopped turning. It is a diary of a childhood obsession, a long-awaited yes, and the terrifying silence of a phone that no longer rings for love. Title: It wasn't the pandemic that killed her love, it was the silence. Our wedding was set, but the quarantine revealed the truth. So, close the door, turn down the lights, and listen closely, because the audience for this truth is only you. Florence in the summer smells of old stone and blooming jasmine. I was just a boy, barely 12, chasing a ball through the neighborhood when I first saw Alice. She lived on my street, a girl with eyes that sparkled like the Arno River at sunset. While the other boys played at becoming soldiers or merchants, I played at becoming hers. I spent my afternoons sitting on my balcony, watching her walk home, memorizing the way she tucked a stray hair behind her ear. To the world, we were just friends. We played volleyball in the plaza and shared gelato under the Tuscan sun. But inside my chest, a fire was burning that the local winters could never freeze out. I was a ghost in her orbit, waiting for a chance to be seen. I spent 13 years watching her fall in love with other men. I watched her hand her heart to boys who didn't know the value of the treasure they held. I stayed in the shadows, her faithful friend, my heart breaking every time I saw her leaning into someone else's embrace. I thought if I waited long enough, if I was loyal enough, the universe would finally realize I was the only one who truly deserved her. Fate finally intervened on a Tuesday morning. I had left my car at the garage for a tune-up before a business trip, forcing me to take the local bus, a rare break in my routine. And there she was, sitting near the back, the morning light catching the gold in her hair. She was 25 now, a woman grown, and the passion I thought I had buried under a decade of work came screaming back to life. We talked for the entire ride. Her voice was like music I had forgotten the lyrics to. I realized then that I didn't want to be the loyal friend anymore. I asked for her number, my hands shaking. A week later, after a long dinner at a small trattoria in the hills, I drove her home. Under the shadow of her doorway, I finally did it. I kissed her. It was the moment my life truly began. I had dreamed of that kiss since I was 12. When our lips met, I felt the earth shift. I confessed everything, the years of waiting, the silent longing, the pain of seeing her with others. She looked at me with a soft smile, as if she was seeing me for the first time. "I had no idea, Gabriel," she whispered. I thought the battle was won. I thought my cathedral was finally complete. For a year and 2 months, we lived in a dream. I proposed on a bridge overlooking the city, and when she said yes, I felt like the ting of Tuscany. We planned everything for May, the month of brides. I held the invitations in my hand, tracing the embossed letters of our names, Gabriel and Alice. I spent every cent I had to give her the perfect day, the catering from the best kitchen in Florence, the flowers from the hills of Fiesole, the ancient church where our ancestors had prayed. Every night, I would look at that invitation and pinch myself. It wasn't a dream. In a few short weeks, the girl from my childhood would officially take my name. I was so blinded by my own happiness that I didn't see the dark clouds gathering on the horizon. I thought love was a shield against the world. I didn't realize that the world was about to change in a way that no amount of passion could prevent. The invitations were sent, the guests were ready, and the trap was set. Then the world broke. A plague swept across Italy like a winter frost that refused to melt. At first, we laughed it off. We thought it would be a few days of staying inside. But days turned into weeks. In early April, just as the jasmine was starting to bloom, Alice called me. Her voice sounded different, flat, distant, like she was calling from the bottom of a well. She told me we had to postpone the wedding. "The gathering is forbidden, Gabriel," she said. "It's too dangerous for our parents." I agreed, though it felt like a knife in my stomach. We rescheduled for January. But then came the true isolation. She told me I couldn't visit her anymore. She said her mother was at high risk, that we had to be responsible. "Gabriel, please, don't be selfish. We can talk on the phone. We can send messages. If you love me, you'll stay away until this is over." I understood her fear, but the silence in my apartment felt like it was swallowing me whole. I lived for her texts, for the 5-minute video calls where she looked increasingly tired of seeing my face on a screen. I lost my job in May as the economy collapsed, but that was nothing compared to the fear that I was losing her. By late June, the restrictions finally eased enough for us to meet. I drove to her house, my heart pounding so hard I thought it would crack my ribs. I had missed her smell, her scent so much. It was a physical ache. When she opened the door, I rushed to embrace her, but she stayed stiff in my arms. Her kiss was a formality, not a fire. We made love that afternoon, but it felt like a rehearsal for a play we both had forgotten. I looked into her eyes and I didn't see Alice. I saw a stranger wearing her skin. I asked her what was wrong, and she gave me the same excuse she'd been using for weeks. "It's the stress of the pandemic, Jill. It's changing everyone." She was right. The world was different. But I realized with a sudden, sickening clarity that the isolation hadn't just separated our bodies, it had rewired her heart. I had spent those months counting the seconds until I could hold her. She had spent them realizing she was perfectly fine without me. The distance hadn't made her heart grow fonder. It had made it grow cold. The final blow came at the beginning of this month. She called me to a park, a place where we used to sit and plan our future. She wouldn't look at me. She sat on the bench, her eyes fixed on the dry grass, and she let out a long, shuddering sigh. "Gabriel," she said, "I've been thinking, I've been reflecting on this new reality." She told me she didn't want to postpone the wedding anymore. She wanted to cancel it. All of it, the invitations, the church, the life we had built in our heads. She said the months apart had made her realize that our love was a dream we had inherited from our childhood, not a reality for our future. "I don't miss you, Gabriel. That's the truth I found in the silence. I waited for the longing, for the pain of being apart, but it never came. I realized that I don't love you enough to be your wife. It would be a mistake to go on." I fell to my knees in the grass. I begged, I pleaded, I told her I would wait another 25 years if that's what it took. But a person who is already checked out of a relationship is a fortress you cannot storm. She watched me cry like I was a stranger on the news. The pandemic didn't kill her, but but it killed the only reason I had for living. Now I live in a tomb. I still have the invitations in a drawer. I look at them and I feel like I'm reading the obituary of my own soul. I lost my job, I lost my money, and now I've lost the only girl I ever loved. I spend my nights staring at the phone, waiting for a message that I know is never coming. I began to wonder if there was another man. I spent nights driving past her house, hidden in the shadows, looking for a sign of arrival, but there was no one. That was the cruelest part. She didn't leave me for someone else. She left me for nothing. She preferred a life of solitude to a life with me. I realized that to her, I was just a habit she had finally managed to break. The quarantine was the rehab she needed to get over the addiction of my love. I am 3 weeks into a grief that feels like it will never end. I cry like a child, and I am not ashamed of it, because when you lose your son, you don't just sit in the dark, you freeze to death. I decided to write this. I asked the producer to put my story first because I feel like my clock is ticking down to 0. They say you don't die from love, but they are wrong. You die when the hope that feeds your heart is cut off. I am a man drowning on dry land, and Alice is the only one with the rope. I wrote her one final letter. I told her that she was my life from the moment I was 12 years old. I told her that if she doesn't come back, I don't see the point in breathing the air of a world that doesn't have her in it. Alice, if you are listening, don't let the storm win. Don't let the distance be the end of us. I would rather catch the plague and die in your arms than live 100 years without your touch. You are my partner, the mother of the children I haven't met yet. Without you, I am nothing. My life has no value. If you don't come back, I will find a way to leave this world behind so I can stop the pain that is crushing my chest. I went to the bridge tonight, the one where I proposed. The water of the Arno is cold and deep, reflecting the flickering lights of a city that continues to live while I am already dead. I stood on the edge, the salt of my tears mixing with the mist of the river. I waited for the phone to vibrate. I waited for a miracle, but the silence of the city was absolute. I realized that Alice wasn't coming. She let go of my hand. She let go of my hand in the middle of the storm, and she never looked back. I am a monument to a love that was one-sided. I am the man who waited 20 years for a woman who didn't even miss me for 20 days. The pandemic was just the excuse. The truth was that her love was a flicker, while mine was a forest fire. I looked down at the dark water and I felt a strange sense of peace. If I cannot have the life I dreamt of, then the darkness is a welcome friend. It's been 3 weeks since she decreed our end. I haven't eaten, I haven't slept. I am a ghost walking the streets of Florence, looking for a version of us that no longer exists. I see happy couples, and I feel a quiet, profound pity for them. They don't know how quickly the sun can go out. I realize now that Alice didn't destroy me. She just revealed that I was already built on sand.
my cathedral had no foundation because it was built on a love that only I felt. Goodbye, Alice. I loved you from the moment I was a boy, and I will love you until the moment my heart finally gives up the fight. I hope you find the peace you were looking for in the silence. I hope the January that was supposed to be our wedding brings you the warmth I couldn't. I am the man who waited too long, and now I am the man who has no time left. Don't let go of the hand of the person you love, because once you let go in the storm, you may never find them again.
And that is the final entry from Gabriel's archive. A story of a love that survived decades of waiting, only to be extinguished by the cold breath of a global silence. It leaves a heavy ache in the spirit, doesn't it? To see a man so utterly consumed by a devotion that was never truly returned. If Gabriel's tragic vigil in the streets of Florence has moved you, please leave a like on this video and subscribe to our channel. Help us keep unboxing these confidential truths from the secrets inbox. But now, I have a question for you, my confidential listeners. Did the distance truly kill Alice's love, or was her love just a performance that couldn't survive the lack of an audience? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Because in the end, the most dangerous thing about a storm isn't the wind or the rain, it's finding out who is willing to stay outside with you. Until next time, stay vigilant and keep your secrets close. Good night.